Hello guys, it's HuntToKill101 again, and today I'll be doing a champion overview on LeBlanc, the Deceiver, whose health is average, attack is very weak, but his spells are incredibly strong, and she is very difficult to play. Her attributes are Assassin, Ranged, and Mage. Her first spell is called Sigil of Silence. She projects an orb, which damages an enemy, and places a mark. If another ability damages that enemy, it will trigger and silence an enemy for 1 second. Her second spell is Distortion. LeBlanc rapidly moves to the target location, dealing magic damage to nearby units. In the following 3 seconds, she can activate the ability again to return to her original position. Ethereal Chains are next. She throws out a chain, which basically binds and slows enemy units. After a few seconds, it will trap the unit into the ground and basically prevent them from moving for 1 second. Her ultimate is called Mimic. She basically mimics her last ability with increased damage and basically less mana cost.
Hello guys, it's HuntToKill101 again, and today I'll be playing as LeBlanc, and basically our whole team is, the whole game is comprised of chicks except Tryndamere. Our team is right now LeBlanc as me, Vayne, Kayle, Leona, Akali versus Lux, Leona, Tryndamere, Kayle, and Morgana. I've noticed that a lot of people started playing Kayle as soon as she got that big patch with all her new nerfed and buffed abilities. So I find this was actually quite a coincidence that I found this game. Now, basically, LeBlanc is an elusive AP type caster who is very adept at getting in and out of situations and can dodge enemy attacks very, very well. So basically, I start off here with Flash and Teleport. Now, Flash is just to get out of situations quickly in case you need that little extra distance between you and your enemies. If your abilities are still on cooldown to slow or jump away. And Teleport is used mostly for mid lane, because if you can outlevel your opponent, you have the upper hand, and the more upper hands you have, the more chances you have of winning. So I start the game off with boots and 3 health potions. Now the reason I do this is because LeBlanc is like Brand, who is a combo type character. You need to put together your spells and make sure that they combo strike in order for you to get maximum damage output and basically not take a single scratch. Excuse me. So basically, LeBlanc. For this LeBlanc runes, I have I have a 21-9-0 build. Getting that additional damage and getting that health generation per level for the defensive, based on your mana, because once you get to 2k mana, I'll show you later on this game, the health per 5 regeneration is very high for me, and that allows me basically to take more damage and survive more in battles. So it looks like at the top we have Kayle and Leona, at the bottom we have Vayne and Akali, middle is LeBlanc usually takes mid. I usually take mid as LeBlanc. Although I have seen sometimes there have been LeBlancs that have taken other lanes, so that's also pretty cool. So in the middle here, it looks like I have Morgana as the enemy, whose pool gets really annoying while I play this game, because basically kills all my champions. My minions, because my minions are too stupid to actually move out of the way. Now, as an AP champion, you always want to try to get those last hits, as LeBlanc especially, because you need mana to get those cool item builds, those magic penetration builds, those ability power builds, whatever is your style. My style is going ability power. So right now I believe I have 12 spell penetration and 15% right now. Now make sure you get that offensive mastery into 15% spell penetration, because that does make somewhat of a difference how much damage your spell do. Now here, basically, I did a combo attack of Sigil of Silence, which deals damage initially and puts a mark on the enemy, and if you use another ability on your enemy, the mark will trigger, dealing additional magic damage, and will also silence the target. So that allows me to get in and out of situations very quickly. Now, this combo attack of Sigil of Silence and Distortion, which basically teleports you dealing damage, will deal a lot of damage while taking minimal damage. And Distortion, not only does Distortion deal damage, but you can also use it again to return to your original spot, and basically that from where you initially casted Distortion, and that basically will allow you to deal as much damage and take the least amount of damage as possible. Now this pool's really getting annoying, so that's the reason why I usually buy 3 health potions after boots, in order to keep myself potted up and basically alive during this whole game. Now I'm not sure. No, she did get Morgana did get that Doran's ring, so she does have that early advantage on her mana regeneration and ability power. So I'm not really trying to push her very early on, because I know that if I rush into things, that I will lose. So I continually use my abilities of Sigil of Silence and Distortion, which my combination is Sigil of Silence and then Distortion in, and then click Distortion again to teleport you back to your initial casting spot, which should give you some distance between you and your enemy. Now, let's see here, what else should I talk about? It does look like I'm going to engage here. Morgana does bind me, unfortunately, but I do have managed. No, never mind. Sometimes if you wait too long, the Distortion only lasts for 1 or 2 seconds, 3 seconds actually. And during that 3 seconds, you can activate it again to return to your original casting spot. So that is quite handy. Sometimes you can. Its distance is about the flash distance. You can use it to jump over walls, and combined with Sigil of Silence, it can deal a lot of damage. LeBlanc mainly deals burst damage, which is why she's one of my favorite AOP champions. She deals burst damage and can void attacks and enemies' champions very easily because of her abilities. She's very easy to trick here, so see, I just used my Sigil of Silence, and it looks like she did bind me, however, but that's okay, because I do land another Sigil of Silence, and her recharge time is about 4 seconds, 5 seconds, although at the last rank it's about 3.6 seconds with max cooldown reduction, which is quite handy. Now, her passive basically creates a mirror image here, as you can see. You can't control it using the Alt key, like Mordekaiser's pet. The mirror image does deal no damage, but does take, I believe it takes normal amount of damage, and it basically creates a clone copy of you. Obviously the items don't appear what items you're carrying, but it's a clone copy that will usually trick opponents, and when you get down 40% health, that ability can be used, and you will be able to escape out of situations. Now, Morgana here is using her clarity to keep herself in the game, so I'm not sure how long she'll be able to keep this up. Now, at level 6, you want to get your ultimate of Mimic, which, with a spell combination of Sigil of Silence, Mimic, and then Distortion, is a very good combination. Mimic basically mimics the last ability that you cast, so say you cast a Sigil of Silence and then you used Mimic, that would cast another Sigil of Silence with increased damage, and at rank 1 it's 100 mana, but at rank 3 it's free basically, so that does come in handy. Now, usually Mimic is very useful. It's also like a flash. If you do use Distortion first or last and you use Mimic, you'll be able to almost like double jump. I'll show you later on in this video how I double jump across some ledges to escape out of situations. Here I created another mirror image of myself, and looks like Morgana did bind that mirror image here, leaving it with 11 health, and while I escaped with a bit more of that, about 100 health. Your mirror image dies after about 8 seconds, so you do have a limited time before you can actually get away. Now, that is kind of a bad thing, but the mirror image does buy you enough time to either wait for Distortion to power up or just run away. Here I do teleport in to make sure my turret doesn't take as much damage as I would like it to. Now, the reason I do that is because I want to stay in the game. I want to get those. I did get my boots, so I do have enough money. I've got more health potions and mana potions, so I'm now more stocked up than Morgana. So if using the right combinations of LeBlanc, I can just Sigil of Silence her here, then Mimic to choose another one, and teleport in and out using Distortion, dealing maximum damage in the least amount of time. And I basically took almost no damage. Her health dropped from about like 90% to like 30 and 35. Now, she's kind of like Bran, basically, using her combinations to deal extra damage and have additional effects. So she does get silenced when I use my combination. Here I kind of jump in and out just to use my Sigil. Unfortunately, if you do use the Sigil of Silence and jump right at the same time, if you have like awesome, like super fast key typing skills. That will not activate it because the Sigil of Silence does take some time to hit the enemy, and the jump is like almost instantaneous, so you might want to wait like a millisecond for the Sigil of Silence to land, and then Distortion in and out to deal that additional damage that you want. Now, it does look like Morgana is heading back, so now's my chance to actually make that teleport useful. I can get 1 level or maybe 2 levels ahead of her before she comes back, and that comes in handy, especially when you want to keep your level as high as possible, kill as many minions, get as much XP, and I continually get my spells in Sigil of Silence and Distortion. Ethereal Chains is like a slowing ability, but it is kind of hard to aim because of its minimal range and its like minimal damage, but it does have a slow, so I do get that late game just to get that crowd control that I need to participate in team fights. It also binds enemy targets for 1 second if they remain latched on with Ethereal Chains. I can't even, not even sure if I'm saying this right. Ethereal Chains? I'm not sure. Someone can say that for me. But let's see how bottom turret is doing. They are taking some blows. Top turrets were pushing pretty well. Unfortunately, I cannot see exactly like their health because I wasn't looking at this time. I do use my Sigil of Silence, my Mimic, and my Distortion to get in and out and deal almost like 70% damage to her. Now she's pretty much spooked. She knows she can't win. At this point, I realize that I can engage Morgana and kill her using my next combo attack. I do walk around here. Maybe she's somewhere over here, but it doesn't look like it, although she does send a binding over there. I'm not sure why. Maybe she thought I was going to run directly back to my base. Other words, she's keeping her distance down, knowing that I can use that double jump, Distortion, and Mimic, so I can probably jump from here to here to here, which I probably will do now. I'm not sure. Let's see. So here I do use my Sigil of Silence, double jump, and with basic attacks, I do get that first kill against Morgana. It's not first blood, but it's first kill. And that does put me very ahead of Morgana, and that will give me that advantage. Continually pushing the turret after you kill somebody is important, but you got to make sure that the bottom isn't missing and the top isn't missing. So here I'm using a health potion just to be safe. In case I do get ganked, I do have enough health to either teleport out or run away. So as LeBlanc, you have the ability to teleport out, no matter if it flashes up or not. So that is kind of an important fact. Middle is MIA. My next item that I usually get is Amplifying Tome and Ruby Crystal. Now this does build, if you saw my earlier videos, Haunting Guys, which is very useful early game, as it gives you that magic penetration that you need to completely dominate other champions early game and maybe mid game, but that will cause maximum damage. So right now I have I should have oh no, I don't have the Haunting Guys yet, but with the boots and the Haunting Guys, it does create a very good effect. So here, I basically dropped her health again to by like 80%. She was like dealing over 1,000 damage using my spell combinations, but I did take a lot of damage here, but that was mainly from the minions, so I don't really care that much. LeBlanc's what's it called, AP ratio isn't that bad. So right now I have 26 AP, and a Sigil of Silence does take 16, so it's a bit more than half. So that is useful at some times, but magic penetration is usually the way to go, unless it's like new where it's like 1-to-2 or 1-to-1 AP conversion ratio for like most of his abilities. I'm not sure where I'm going here. Apparently I'm going over here. I don't know why. I think it's a glitch, but the line is like glitching over here. I do plan to gank over here because Trinimir is here, very low on health. I do teleport in. Unfortunately, I do not deal enough damage because he does use his ultimate, so he is invulnerable to death. Oh, actually, Kayla used her ultimate on Trinimir, so that did save him. Fortunately, we do get him. No, we do not get him. Okay, never mind. On the other hand, Morgana here is taking middle. She's pushing. Well, she was pushing mid, and she was heading top to help maybe her allies, I'm not sure. But I just teleport back in here. She probably will come back right now. I think she should come back. No, she's probably ganking Kale over here. Let's see. Yes? Ganking Kale? No? No? Okay, guess not. Whatever. I do continually push middle in order to get that minion advantage, that XP advantage over Morgana. To clear many minion waves at once, there's a lot of minions. You can use the Distortion, which deals AoE damage, and then Mimic, which deals more AoE damage. So with double, you could probably take out minion waves very easily. I do purchase that Haunting Guide, as you will see soon. Yeah, right here. So that is basically 20 magic penetration, 20 more magic penetration, and some ability power. And I was waiting for that little last health potion. No, never mind. I got 2 health potions. So right now I'm sitting at 20 health per regeneration per 5 just because of the amount of mana I have. Spell penetration is 52 to 15%. So first take off 15%, then take 50. I believe that is how it works. I don't know why I'm running it here and not doing anything, but I think I was looking off screen for a second there. Since my health bar did disappear, so I was somewhere else. What else should I say? Actually, since the last nerf of Tryndamere, he has to use Rage. This is quite a recent game this is quite a recent game. Tryndamere is kind of been nerfed because of that Rage, because he does require a Rage to heal now, and the heal ratio is it's not as good as it used to be, basically, and it's not that much. That's all I can say for now, because sometimes I did think that Tryndamere was a bit overpowered with his blood stacks, because his health was rapidly regenerating every time he killed a minion, or every time he scored a crit chance. Anytime he did one of these, it did help him out a lot, so I do believe I go gank bottom, but Morgana's here, so I think I turn around. No, Morgana's actually getting magic resistance to counter all my magic penetration, but with her 78, I still penetrate about 50, so and then she's only got about 28, so it does look like I try to engage. Oh no, Leona is there, so I do disengage and fall back, because that could have been deadly if Leona landed that stun within tower range. I'm not sure why no one was getting the dragon. I'm pretty sure somebody said I'm getting the dragon. No, I guess not. Here I'm walking a little zigzag, thinking that Morgana's waiting from here for a good find, but mid is missing. Let's see, what else should I talk about? Also, recent patches have nerfed a lot of champions, and one of the major nerfs that I am quite disappointed about. And look at this, I'm doing about 60% damage again. She does use her ultimate. I'm not sure if I live to survive. I think using my Mimic, the combination of skills, she does chase after me, so I do use my signal, and then I teleport into range. My Mimic does take all the minion damage from the auto attack, so that is quite helpful. So that is 2-0 right now, me versus Morgana, and I am in the lead for now. Let's look at top, look at bottom. After this, I usually go for a Tear of the Gods just because the extra mana does really help you out, and it also increases my health regeneration because I have that 1% maximum health is converted to magic. What's it called? HP regen per 5, so that does give me increased healing in my lane based on my maximum mana. So that is also quite an important fact. That make sure you get that. Make sure you get that for sure, because most magic champions that use mana, AP champions, I mean, it's very good to have a lot of mana in reserve, especially very mana consumptuous. Morgana doesn't really take that much mana to be casting because of her long cooldowns, no matter if you have cooldown reduction. So it does look like I am ganking down here. I'm not sure who I'm going to take. It looks like no, I'm waiting for them to engage. Not sure if they will engage. I don't think they know that there's a little ward here, spotting all of their actions. But we do decide to engage here. Lux unfortunately did bind me, so I wasn't able to use my ethereal chains, which I just leveled up and everything. Now you should be able to see how I use it pretty effectively. especially against Trendemir, you might want to get those ethereal chains on him to make sure that he doesn't move around and to attack too many champions at once. And then it will also bind them, so that's also a very good thing. Trendemir here is taking my middle turret. My minions do hold it off because